Hello, sweet friend. My name is Maike, and in this video, I would like to take a look at and work in my Midori 1D 1Page. So it's going to be a cozy journal with me session while also doing a little bit of a flip through. I feel like we haven't taken a look at this in quite some time, so I thought that would be fun. And maybe we just backtrack from most recent until we hit a page where I want to add some things. How about that? So this is a couple days ago. We had one of the first summer thunderstorms, at least it felt like one, where you can just smell the warm grass and the wetness of the rain. A really nice combination. And I've been trying to challenge myself to capture the time of day or the weather conditions, and even simple drawings and watercolor sketches. So yeah, that's been quite interesting. And then just a couple cute little stickers. Yeah, I've been keeping my pages very simple, just, you know, one picture or a drawing with just a sticker here and there, but it's quite nice. It feels very serene looking through it, so I don't mind keeping it simple. This is really fun. This is from the packaging of a plant-based burger from Burger King. Here in Germany, Burger King has way more options for vegetarians, and it's been quite fun to just try everything out. And yeah, here I tried to determine what my color palette is in the sort of personal style realm of things. And apparently I'm a soft summer, which I found very surprising because the colors are quite cooler than what I would typically tend to. But yeah, let me know if you have done this before, if you have found this to be helpful in terms of what you wear, the sort of personal style aspect of things. And then yeah, I got some watercolor tubes to finish out my setting up my traveler's little watercolor palette. This thing has been wonderful. I'm loving it quite a bit. So happy that I got this. So yeah, that's the sketch there. My little palette with all the colors in. And then yeah, here we have an empty page. That's where some of those pictures are gonna go. So yeah, I guess that's where we're at. My husband and I did 6 days of house and pet sitting, which is very interesting. It's quite a new experience, and maybe we need a clip right here. And I printed these pictures out on just regular printer paper. And so I hope they're not going to be too bulky. I have printed out some on real photo paper, and yeah, it's quite thick. And then by the end I realized that you can actually take layers off of this kind of photo paper, but oh well, we're not gonna sweat it too much. And so I think these pages, these stickers, yeah, they all, or these photos, I'm not getting all confused, they all have the same height, but they're different widths. So maybe it would be quite fun still to put them in a row. What do you think? Just make a double page spread out of this? We will have to go over the middle line there, but I kind of like that. When this one being lighter in color and this one also, but then the maroon in the middle. What do you think? Isn't that so cute? One of the dogs, or both of them actually, but this is just the photo of one of the dogs. They had these stuffed animal ducks, and it was just their comfort item, and it was just so cute. Yeah, and then I also got to cuddle and play with a cat, which was such a treat. So precious. Yeah, that was quite enjoyable to live with pets again. What do you think? And then I do have here this kitty walking a dog, which we could put in here, but I could also, I guess, draw myself walking a dog. That could work as well, but maybe we'll just start gluing this down. Or do we want to see something else? But I feel like then it breaks up the writing space so much. I tend to not like that. Or, well, it just gets a little bit more complicated layout-wise, and so why make our lives harder than they need to be? That's what I'm thinking. So we're just gonna go in here, and maybe the way I'm putting on glue is a little cringy, just loosely in the air, but I also don't want to get glue all over the page. And as you can see, I'm covering up where usually the date goes, but I'm not too fussed. Can add the date somewhere else. Yeah, overall, I've been really happy with this journal. The fact that it's undated really helps, of course. It's easy to go in and just add whatever I can. That's been sort of my approach to backlogging these days, is to just do whatever I can, and then if not, I'll just, you know, move on. Yeah, something like that maybe. And this is helpful that it's just printer paper, then it's not too thick here. And overall, with having a page per day, of course, this is a little bit of a chunker from the get-go, this journal. But I would also not be opposed to, there's so much glue, opposed to taking empty pages out to help relieve some of the thickness that may start coming together. Okay, and now I have glue, sticky glue fingers, but we'll be okay. And then what about some washi tape? Pretty much, even if I keep pages simple, washi tape is almost always involved, I think. I just like patterns so much that I think it also just helps to bring a little bit of color and maybe even whimsy. Yeah, patterns are whimsical, right? I would think that that's certainly one thing that I'm responding to there with the patterns of washi tape. Maybe a little bit here and a little bit there, and it goes so cute with the with the stuffed animal ducky. And then if these two pictures have washi tape, then maybe we'll add some washi tape to the... Oh no, I had some grime on my fingers, I guess. Something got smudged. Oh well, I don't know what happened there. But we're just gonna have to go with it, I guess. Not sure what happened. And then, do we want to bring a solid color in as well? Maybe some of that mint green? Is that too stark? Yeah, I think so. Maybe this orange? Or is that too similar to what we already have here? Maybe. I wish I had a darker blue-green like that. I can't stop thinking about that glue there. Or do a pattern mix. Usually this one is pretty versatile because it has a couple different colors in it, so that tends to be something that goes with almost anything. I guess we could, let's see. I want to see what this looks like if we add some of this patterned washi also down here. And then we also have this go over both pages to have another element that ties these pages together. Reaching over like that, and then it gets mirrored here and here, and it creates a nice tension, you know, like it pulls it together and holds the space, so then you can add the writing. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. And then we could see what happens when we add the kitty cat. Let's cut this out, if I can get to my scissors without poking myself, and see what that does in terms of the size too, because it might be that, of course, if I draw it, I can make that a little bigger. And we were watching 2 dogs and a cat, so I guess it would be nice to draw a cat walking 2 dogs. Yeah, maybe we need to do that, even though this is cute. But we'll just take inspiration from this. And then the 2 dogs obviously also walked in front of me quite a bit. But they were overall really, really good dogs. Okay, let me get a pencil and zoom you in just slightly. How about that? Yeah, and then how about we just draw a cat right here, walking the dogs, and just a little bigger. And I always start with the head, and specifically the ears. That's somehow, I don't know, has been my go-to, and then I can make everything else match that. Like, that's somehow the measuring stick, I guess. I do think I might have made this a little big, but we'll see. And then with the little cute handkerchief, which is just always, I don't know, I just like it. It just looks cute, in my opinion. And then maybe we'll draw her with an outstretched arm. They had a really cool leash, though, that you could tie around your waist, and you could snap in both dogs, and that was really helpful. So I could draw that if I wanted to be specific about it. And yeah, I do think I made her a little big, a little tall, but because with drawings like this, sometimes it's also nice to keep it a little bit more iconic. And so, because I'm also gonna draw just a really simple dog design. So now I have to design the dog to fit kind of her in terms of the sizing, which I'm a little less sure about. Maybe like that. And so, yeah, if the dog and the cat character are so simple, then maybe I want to keep the leashes simple too, because then I would have to be really specific about all of that, and I don't think I want to right now. But of course, that's, you know, up to you what you want out of your drawings. If you want to represent something specific, or just in the abstract, you know. Like, is it about the specific leash, or is it about walking with 2 dogs, you know? And that's, yeah, just a consideration that you can make if you want to. Maybe like that, and then I'll just add the other dog in the back there. Oh, this was a boy and a girl, and they were actually pretty similar in size. And they did like walking like next to each other, which I thought was really interesting, because it did not look like a really comfortable way of walking, but it seemed like that was just what they were doing. And yeah, who am I, the person who's new to the group, so to speak, and who was only taking care of the pets for 6 days to like change anything. Yeah, what do you think? I think that's quite all right. And then I feel like the cat doesn't, maybe we'll have her look down a little bit more, like towards the dogs. Yeah, maybe like that. What do you think? I think that's quite cute. And then something that I've done here with this design too is just really simple trees, and where we were dog sitting, it was really gorgeous too. They were near a nature preserve, so they had a lot of so if I'm thinking about where do I want to write, maybe I'm just thinking of it as 3 columns then in terms of where I'm writing. So I'll have some text here, and then this. So then maybe I'll just add the trees up here. And I guess I could put down the sticker, but I'm already drawing and gonna color that in. I might as well. Sometimes I feel like it's nice if they are made from the same, I don't know what you say, material. So the drawing with the drawing. Yeah. And then we can write here. I think that's okay. It's not what I had envisioned, but rather than redrawing this just to make the sizing a little bit more layout optimized is a little silly. I used to do that more often, but these days I'm a little bit more practically inclined, especially because I'm still backlogging. So there is a thing of like, I always picture myself 10 years from now. Are you really going to think about or be upset about that this is not layout optimized, or are you just going to be happy that you've journaled about this at all? So this is my Benu Pixie, or one of my Benu Pixies, with a medium nib, and I'm currently testing out Octopus Fluids Brown Seahorse in this, and this is a waterproof ink, which is nice because then we can go over this with watercolor or with marker. And in terms of the color, it's a very grayish brown. It's more grayish than, or less saturated than Detrimentus Sepia in the document line, which is also waterproof. I am getting, I don't know if you saw when I started with the trees, I'm getting slight heart starts with this combo of Benu pen. Whoops. That was a little wobbly. That's the one thing. I mean, I like A6. I don't think it's too small. But because this book is also very, very thick, drawing something here in the corner is sometimes just a little bit awkward, because not only is your hand not on the book, but it's next to it, but it's also so thick. And so you have less, I feel like you have less control, maybe. But it's fine. We'll live. We'll survive. And now I did erase beforehand, just a little bit. Because sometimes when you erase and you already have drawn your lines, you take just a little bit of the ink off too. But I might have done a little bit too much of a good job. bit of a hard time seeing where all of my lines were. That is a chunky dog. They were actually not, in terms of golden retrievers, I've seen chunkier golden retrievers, but again, it's more about the abstract idea of the thing. And this is supposed to be the end of the leash, I'm not sure if that is communicated well. Yeah. Okay. Workable. So how are you doing? How are your journals doing or going? Yeah, I've been just trying not to stress myself out. Just doing things here and there. Yeah. How about that? I think that's workable. Don't you? Whoops. And then the question is, do I want to do a whole like watercolor thing, or do we just go in with some markers? Because that can be fun too. Or I have an idea. Because the photos are, I'm thinking of the photos a little bit more of the highlight of this page. And they have so many colors in them. I think it might be nice to keep this drawing monochromatic. And so I think we should use my little, this is the Fonte Carapo brush pen. And in here I have Inkabara's Earth. That's an ink mixed with water, diluted with water. I think we should do that. We'll just add some tone to it. Hopefully that'll go well. And then just take some of the lines off still. Let's see what we can do. Let's just start adding that here and there. And the cool thing about this Inkabara Earth ink is that it chroma shades. So hopefully you'll see that momentarily. It can have shades of green and pink. So it's, I think, more interesting than just a marker. Go in here, color in this doggy. And maybe we'll give her shirt some stripes just to switch it up. Color in her little handkerchief or necktie, whatever you want to call it. Put in some grass. Cute. And we can let that dry, and if we wanted to, we could go I guess we can all go over it now already. We can darken some of these up. Yeah, I think that's plenty there. I don't think it needs more. And then I could use this also to write the title. Do I do pet sitting or house sitting? I'll do pet. I'm not really good at brush lettering, and this brush pen is really, really soft. So that's even harder to control. And is pet sitting at one word? I'll make it one word. I'm not quite sure. That might be the German in me. Germans make everything one word. Like so. Yeah. Okay. It's not what I had planned, but I think that works all right. I'm not gonna bore you with the writing part. I did think that maybe we could also put in some stickers here in the monthly section. I do have some of this to still fill in too, but yeah, maybe this is a little more interesting to do together. So in the monthly sections, I've been doing just a little bit of decor, and sometimes I pull out some highlight photos or photos that I still have left over. And yeah, I think they turn out really cute, and it just gives me an overview of what the month was about. And then I have a little section here on the side where I put down what books I read that month. So yeah, for February I had a Valentine's theme. In January, these little cute wintry cats, so fun. Yeah, and so in April I didn't read anything, so I don't have a book list. And for May, I thought it would be really fun theme to use some of these designs from Ke Collage Club for this month with the gardening cats and the chickens. Make it a little bit of a farm theme. And with this, I tried out some different printer paper. This is recycled paper, and so it is a little bit, has a little bit of a grayish tone to it, which yeah, it's gonna obviously look different from the Midori cream, but I also didn't want these to go to waste, so I think I'm gonna still use these. And I printed these out extra tiny because these monthly pages aren't that big, at least in the A6. But I do like the design. I think that's so nice to have just a little bit of negative space around the monthly calendar. And yeah, I do quite enjoy putting these together, so why not? And they're super quick and easy to do, and really it's just another fun excuse too to just play around with themed stickers that I also might not be using in my daily journaling. I don't have a vegetable garden, but I think these designs are so cute. If I may say so myself. I obviously drew these, but I had a request for some vegetable gardening cats, and so yeah, it's always fun to find that you enjoy drawing something, even though you didn't think to draw them yourself, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think a vegetable garden is quite fitting for me, don't you? Are you growing anything in your garden or on your balcony? Okay. Well, these both look in the same direction, so maybe I'll just use her though. And then we can, I was thinking of leaving them as a strip, but maybe it's cuter if I just scatter them here and there on the days that I don't want to note anything. And then maybe we'll use this cat right here working on the tomato plant and put that down in the corner. And maybe I'll cut these out finer off camera so you don't only watch me cut things, but. And then we can also scatter the chickens throughout. So cute. Have the chickens run through the month. That's kind of funny. It's very chicken behavior, isn't it? Just have them be here and there. Yeah, do you keep some sort of monthly overview? Is there a monthly calendar in one of your journals that you're using for something specific? Are you keeping like a specific tracker in there, or are you just, yeah, like me, keeping maybe highlights? Or you just note a couple things down no matter what it is? Well, and I guess this is also sort of my reading log, if you want to call it that. It's just one of those things that I felt like made sense to keep a list of. And sometimes it is interesting how much of a month, the feel of a month is also encapsulated by what you've read, or knowing what you read at a time makes you remember other things. So I don't know. It just kind of made sense to me to combine it that way. Even though it's obviously really simple to just have a running list. I will say, I said that I didn't read anything in April, but that wasn't true. I had 2 books that I didn't finish. So there was that, a little bit of a false starts, and then everything was so all over the place that I kind of, quote unquote, didn't recover from it. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like sometimes you just have so much going on and then you have false starts that it just kind of throws you for a loop a little bit. Yeah, let me know if you have had that experience. But I will say that I have found that maybe I like reading historical fiction, which I find quite surprising in a way, because I'm not really I never considered myself a history person. And so, yeah. Do I want this basket somewhere too? Or not? Oh, maybe not. And then I will bring in some washi tape too, I think. Yeah, I've just realized that I like fantasy books, but sometimes fantasy can also be, I don't know, a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of what you're getting yourself into in terms of world building. And I've realized that what I like about fantasy is that I'm transported into a different world. And I get the same thing by reading historical fiction, except that obviously it's our world, just a different, what I used to get from fantasy, I now get from the different historical context. But then it's not as, you're not thrown for such a loop sometimes when it comes to, magic systems and things like that. That obviously. So yeah, I don't know if that made sense just now, but yeah, historical fiction. Who would have thought? I certainly didn't. I was thinking maybe this washi with the little small little flowers might be nice. I don't know if you can. Oh, it's just a piece here. Let's get this off. By the way, so far I have not regretted putting my washi tape on these little cards. It's been so handy. But yeah, see, it has these white flowers on it. I thought that might be nice to just have May flowers here and there. I think that's cute. See, and then it can sit in the flowers, and then maybe we'll put some up top here, like so. And then did we do this little piece here somewhere? I don't know, maybe. But I think I'm gonna just glue them down something like this. Yeah, that should give me still plenty space to write my things. Okay, I'll cut these out a little smaller and then I'll show you the final result. Here it is, all cut out and glued down. I think that turned out quite cute. I'm very excited to now fill in my monthly highlights as they come along, and hopefully I'll have some books to write down here. And yeah, overall quite happy to be able to use these gardening stickers, even though I'm not gardening. I don't know what it is about these monthly pages that allow me to be more thematic with the sticker choices, but you know, that's also fun. It's fun to have different ways of approaching using stickers and stationery in different parts of your journal or different journals overall. So yeah. So that's really nice. And then I did go in and finish up this page as well, or rather filled in the writing, and I wanted to share that with you since you helped me create this spread. I think that also, yeah, turned out quite cute, a little different in terms of the layout, but yeah, I like it. I think I like it. And in terms of the inks, if that is of interest to you, I think they pair really nicely together. So we had the Inkabara Earth, and then the writing is done with Colorverse Hahu Mask, which is this almost corally apricot orange, but it has it shades kind of gray. So it has this grayish core, which is really interesting and makes it seem not too bright in terms of the orange color. So yeah, really, really fun. And that goes really well with the Inkabara Earth, doesn't it? And then the darker lines are done with the Octopus Fluids Write and Draw ink in the brown Seahorse. And yeah, really fun. Also like how these pens look together. So bonus excitement there. Not that that has any bearing on what the page looks like, but yeah, still fun. So yeah, what do you think? I think that turned out quite cute. And so now I'm just gonna, yeah, still keep going backwards to fill these bits in slowly, but also I did decide to move forward just in case, you know, this is almost kind of function as a wave breaker because if nothing else, now I can just keep going and be up to date, and whether or not I finish these pages doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter, but it keeps the journal alive because I have found that to be one of the main hiccups for me when it comes to backlogging, that I feel so determined to backlog that I don't move forward, and then I lose touch with the journal. And sometimes that's quite literally because I don't feel like backlogging, and so I don't open the journal anymore, and so I don't keep moving forward, and then eventually it's been weeks and months, and then it's so much harder to go back in. So yeah, wave breaker. This is my way of just being gentle with the backlogging and making sure that I keep going in this journal, because I do like how it's going, and I do like how the pages are turning out. I love the design and the layout, and yeah, it would make me quite sad to not keep going in this. So yeah, that's that. If you would like to support me, show me that you've made it this far in the video, leave me a dog emoji. And if you are a dog owner, let me know what kind of dog do you have and what's his or her name. I'd love to know. as always, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And until next time, happy journaling.